The Smithsonian Faculty Fellowship Program represents a rewarding academic professional development opportunity for faculty at Montgomery College. The fellowships are a product of a unique collaboration between Montgomery College and the Smithsonian Center for Learning and Digital Access. It's the first of its kind between the Smithsonian Institution and a community college.
Takiko Mori Saunders is a sociology professor at the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. She received a MA in Applied Sociology from UMBC and a PhD in Sociology from Rutgers University in New Jersey. Takiko has taught Introduction to Sociology, Sociology of Age and Aging, Sociology of Gender, and Race and Ethnic Relations. Her goal is to transform students' perception of the world and help them develop critical thinking and analytical skills. She enjoys listening to and reading students' personal stories. She was a magazine writer in Japan before coming to the U.S. as a graduate student.
Perhaps you already know our theme, I Too Am America. And then I framed it this way. Let's see. I used actually two courses, Introduction to Sociology, Sociology 100, and also Sociology 240, Sociology of Age and Aging. It's a full distance education course. So there were some issues I needed to deal with, and I would explain. And project, let's see. Aging, because as someone said, we are all immigrants in some ways. So I narrowed down a little bit, and then aging in first generation immigrants. That's the way I framed. And are their experience different? That was our research question. And I used the National Museum of American History. Okay, let's see. Role of immigrants to diversity in the American diet. Well, you may wonder why I chose American History Museum. Certainly, I explored some other museums, but I wanted to select something very concrete, something easily relatable. So I chose American History Museum. And the food exhibit was so concrete, and anyone could relate. That's the reason I chose. And certainly, it's a transformation of American diet. And immigrants are the core agents to transform American diet. So it's very, very closely related. It's no question. Okay. And let me introduce my course, Sociology of Age and Aging. It is a very special course to me. I love this course. I've been teaching this course for about 10 years. And it started as an annual offering, and now it's every semester, and every semester it goes. And the students are very special to me. Many are adult students. I have quite many pre-nursing students. They are very, very hardworking students. And some adults, let's see. Some are facing their own aging. Some are facing their parents or grandparents' aging. Some are pursuing a career in the field of aging. But students are great, really great. And lots of international students, immigrant students. Immigrant students, many of them pursue healthcare field. So it's kind of makes sense. Okay. And issues of distance education. Well, you may wonder, does it work? Well, it does, at least in my course. But certainly some students don't live nearby. Some may live out of state or even abroad. So certainly you have to prepare for alternative assignment. Without that, it's unfair. So it takes lots of work, actually. 2 sets of assignments, it's more work to me, but it's worthwhile. And whenever I teach full online courses, I always develop my desire, I want to see my students in person. And when you meet them, you will know who they are. Oh, you are Tom, right? You are Amanda, right? Mm-hmm. Somehow we know one another because online personality, it reflects the real personality. It's very interesting and fun. Okay. So my project timeline. The whole course had 1,000 points, and this project was worthwhile 300 points. And I divided it into 5 stages. Step 1, museum visit. On Saturday, I went to the museum and interacted with them. But I didn't have any guided tour. That's sort of, maybe next time I will. I made it open-ended. So told them, find something aging-related. So they explored themselves. And I was in the exhibit room, the big table of food exhibit, and I was waiting. And whenever they had questions, they could come back to me to ask questions. And sometimes I went to a specific exhibit with them. Okay, you are interested in such and such, so maybe this works, so let's walk together. So essentially, I was there for a couple of hours for them. That was my style. And then step 2, reflection paper on what you have found in the museum. And step 3, paper based on an interview. And the interview was with first-generation immigrant, first-generation old immigrant. Let's say old means, I said preferably 70 or older, but like 60, that's acceptable. And at least, I can sense they are laughing. Well, that reflects something. But anyhow, I will discuss this issue later. Okay. And the immigrant, the first-generation immigrant, should be in the United States at least for 20 years. That was the requirement. So they did. And actually, this part was very interesting. They enjoyed it. Step 4, tentative annotated bibliography. And step 5, final paper. And you can see final paper is pretty challenging because they had to coordinate, they had to integrate everything, very concrete museum visit, and then interview, and then more theoretical literature review. It wasn't very straightforward assignment, I knew. So during the visit, as I said, find something that is related to aging, and then I encouraged them to take notes. What kind of emotions did you experience, and what were your reactions? So what surprised you? What did you like? What didn't you like? And what are presented? What are missing, or how are they presented? Always ask questions, ask questions. Thoughts by students, these, I'm going to give some examples. Mexican food revolution, that was a pretty good size of exhibit, part of a food exhibit. And then one student questions, well, it is interesting, Mexican food revolution. Certainly, Mexican food is all over. We love it. It's tasty and relatively inexpensive. It's literally all over. We accept it. How about Mexican people? Are they accepted in the same way their food has been in the United States? And this student, she interviewed her grandmother, and her grandmother was from England, and her grandfather was a physician in England. So you can see, and she clearly realized she was talking about a totally different group of people. And her grandmother's experience, let's see. people in the United States, they tried to mimic her grandmother. Can we have a tea gathering in our church like you did in England? And they tried to mimic her demeanor, her lifestyle. Are we doing the same thing with Mexican Americans? So her grandmother was the British Rose, English Rose, very privileged identity. Okay. Let's see, and more examples, like linguistic isolation. Diversity is very embraced in the United States, but public services are not really supporting it. Some students interviewed, let's see, first-generation immigrant, and then she asked about like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the interviewee couldn't answer. She got confused, or some students needed an interpreter to conduct an interview. So linguistic isolation, that's the term we call, and also you may or may not know, Montgomery County has a very big proportion of foreign-born population. About 1/3 is foreign-born. And we are experiencing population aging, not only population aging, but aging of minority population. So linguistic isolation, that will be our reality soon, very soon. And we need to provide special or different public services for them. Okay. Let's see. And some students, they pursued, let's see, symbolization by food. Food symbolizes home culture, and food is a unifier among the family and also the ethnic group. However, it's not always rosy, like acculturation and intergenerational tension, because older generation, they don't understand the younger generation. Language-wise, they don't understand. And also, younger generation's lifestyle, values, norms, they don't understand. So intergenerational tension may arise. Some first-generation immigrants, they work in the United States. And once they retire, at least they try to go back to their home country. And kind of odd, you may think odd, but actually it's not. They come back to the United States again for various reasons. For example, they develop some diseases, and then the United States provides better health care. So some certainly try to go back, some stay, or some decide to become a naturalized citizen once they retire. It sounds odd because why not earlier? That's true. But when they are young, I think they are still kind of in between. And then once they retire, okay, I'm going to die in the United States. Also, a couple of students, they discussed downward movement by the first generation immigrants. Some of them had very high socioeconomic status in their home country, and then they migrated to the United States, and then they lost the status. And sometimes they regain the socioeconomic status, but quite often they don't. Their children may or may not, but they themselves quite often don't. Okay. These are concepts and theories the students used. They used all kinds of theories and concepts. So, question, what missing? I read the students' papers, and I could see their efforts, their struggle, and I felt, okay, they learned, and I also learned about their learning. I felt, okay, one thing is missing. intersectionality of race, gender, and class and age. Usually we study, I also teach sociology of gender, and in that course we teach intersectionality of race, gender, and class, but not age. It's still missing a component, and integrating stratification elements, including age, that's not an easy task. It's a complicated issue. And then, like students who questioned Mexican food revolution, are Mexican Americans, are they treated like their food? Well, so essentially she's talking about race and ethnicity and also social class. But age, all four components are not well integrated. Okay, so ageism, are old people oppressed, marginalized? What do you think? Well, I assigned one article in my gender course, feminism, even feminism, they marginalize old people. They study aging, but not really old people. And well, yeah, this is aging issue, but not us. Okay. This lady, her name is Ernestine Shepard. I used to live in Baltimore until the end of last year, and I used to see her in the park I ran. She's a wonderful lady, and she's in the Guinness Book. She is the oldest competitive bodybuilder, and very kind, wonderful lady. So we should admire her, right? Well, whether our quest is to age successfully or to be ageless, this need to deny old age lies at the heart of ageism. We deny that we are aging, and when we're forced to confront the process, we treat it as ugly and tragic. Either successful aging means we are not aging. Right? Either successful aging or ageless, that's also a form of denying. Well, okay. Maybe this is redundant, but just let me finish. Tips for the new cohort. You don't have to be perfect. I mean, my project is very imperfect, but my students struggled, learned, and you don't have to be sorry for their struggle. They learned. That's good. Okay? Thank you.